An incident involving a Boeing 737 changes to the Airbus A220, route expansion and more are all covered in today's aviation news recap, focusing on developments within the industry. Buckle in and stay tuned.
BBL 851, turn right heading 180. 14 Papa, turn right 245, report localizer established 27.
Welcome to another one of these aviation news recap videos. I hope you've been enjoying them as much as I've been making them. If you're interested in joining an active Discord community, feel free to join mine. The link is in the description and pinned comment. Would love to see you there. The first story today, though, covers an incident that occurred over the prior weekend. Luckily, no one was injured, but the 737 slid off the runway shortly during an emergency landing. The Aviation Herald provided more information with regards to the excursion, noting that the aircraft saw problems with its right gear that forced the type to make an emergency landing only shortly after departing. The aircraft was flying cargo with just 4 crew members on board. The aircraft itself skidded down the runway before coming to a stop on the grass, with its gear having been collapsed. Quite an odd and rare occurrence, but thankfully no one was injured. Over at Airbus, the A220, their latest aircraft that slots into the regional sector, has seen yet another range increase. This is not the first range increase that it's seen. In fact, it's the latest one of many that involves the A220-300 over that of the Dash 100, which is the other variant. The adjustment has come following the European aircraft manufacturer increasing the maximum takeoff weight for the aircraft, totaling a tonne extra. This also comes as Airbus continues to look at the A220 as an aircraft to determine whether or not they can continue to adjust and develop it for customers as they push for it to enter the US market and more markets worldwide. We've already seen it being a huge success in the US market, with orders coming in from Delta and JetBlue when the aircraft first switched over to Airbus back in 2018. Harnessing an optimized range and efficiency, it has become the go-to for customers in this sector. The Airbus Vice President of Narrowbody Aircraft Marketing, as reported by Float Global, commented on the aircraft, noting that they were looking at spots to capitalise on and managed to find an additional leeway structure of the aircraft. This meant they could add a higher maximum takeoff weight to the aircraft itself. This maximum takeoff weight option for the A220-300 will reportedly be available by the middle of this year to customers should they wish to have it on their aircraft. In exciting route news, Aer Lingus yesterday announced the launch of new transatlantic services out of Manchester, multiple in fact. It also marks the airline's specifically first direct connections that it'll fly from the United Kingdom through to not only just the United States, but in addition the Caribbean. The airline will fly to New York JFK and Orlando beginning from the 29th of July this year, with then plans to add Barbados in the Caribbean a few months later on October 20th. In 2022, next year at the time of recording, Aer Lingus will look to further expand with a flight through to Boston in the summer specifically. This is a major expansion on the airline's international network and will offer customers more options when flying transatlantic, especially if not located centrally or close to that of London. The A321LR will be utilised on the flights through to New York and Boston at this point in time, and it actually means that following the airline making this announcement, they become the very first airline to fly the Airbus A321LR on passenger flights from the United Kingdom through to the United States and vice versa. This is a landmark moment for the aircraft, and you might ask why. It is because it has a purpose nowadays of flying long distance like these, especially on transatlantic flights, like what we'll be seeing of JetBlue very soon with their own transatlantic services, which have been incredibly hyped up and are ramping up for an eventual launch. Airbus's newest addition, which is the A321XLR, will also mould and continue on the A321LR's success, and allow customers to fly even further to the eastern parts of Europe with a narrow-body single-aisle jet, harnessing efficiency and more. This is something we've already seen Boeing look at with their own NMA aircraft that has been up in the air for some time now. Will it go ahead? Will it not? Will they re-engine the 757, or will they build a totally new aircraft? For them, the question has always remained. For now, though, Airbus has the upper hand in this sector. Our final story comes from Ryanair, who gave us some updates surrounding the 737 MAX 8-200 that they're expecting very soon. They said they should see the first delivery for this specific variant occurring soonish, with an April 2021 month and point slated currently as to when they will expect their first. The delay comes strictly from the American and also European regulators not having certified this specific variant in the 737 MAX series as of yet. Ryanair has over 100 of the new MAX 200 aircraft currently on order and will see them be delivered over the next 3 years. They ideally want the type operating for the summer period. As to what capacity, that'll greatly depend on the current conditions of the pandemic and whether it will actually be viable to have them operating if restrictions remain or new restrictions are implemented. That's going to conclude today's aviation news recap. It's a little bit of a shorter one today, as not much has been happening, but I wanted to get another one out as you have all been really enjoying these videos. Once again, feel free to join the Discord server. The link will be in the description and also the pinned comment. I hope to see you in there. But if not, until the next video, take care and be safe. I will see you tomorrow.